Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. I'm here at the Painted Canyon. I'd love to record this outside, but it's kind of windy and I won't be able to speak on the video. But trips like this make me want to complain about some injustices in life, and if I could ask God two questions, I'd ask God why He designed us to have to eat. And the reason I say that is because life is so much cleaner when you don't have to worry about food. So it's about a 6-7 hour drive from my home to where I'm going, I've spent the last day and a half on the road just visiting places. I haven't eaten, and everything just seems so much cleaner. I don't have to worry about garbage. I don't have to worry about my steering wheel becoming a mess. I don't have to worry about space issues. There are a lot of things I'd love to bring on my trip, and I don't have to worry about pooping. I know it sounds weird, but everything just seems a whole lot cleaner. Also, body odor issues become a lot less of a problem. I do notice that when I do a lot of intermittent fastings within a week, my need to take a bath or a shower is significantly reduced. And that just saves a lot of hassle, right? If I have a busy work schedule, if I want to make a lot of art, or if I want to go out and network with people, the reduction in needing to think about when mealtime is and when to take a shower and the garbage and all that really frees up a lot of resources to do all that stuff. And I really mean it. I work as a tutor, and one time one of my students had asked if we could have one superpower, what would it be? And I had a student who's a 14-year-old girl who says the obvious thing. She wishes she could eat whatever crap she wants without gaining weight. And I answered, I kind of want the opposite of that. I wish I could stop eating and not die from not eating. And the reason being that it frees up a lot of things. One of the biggest hassles of coming here to tutor is thinking about mealtime, especially when the schedule changes, like by the hour sometimes. And oh my God, it would free up a lot of time and space to tutor you guys. And nobody in the classroom could understand where I was coming from. Even my boss couldn't understand it. And but that's because our culture revolves so heavily around food. Okay, that's the first thing I would ask God. And number two thing I would ask God is, why did you design us to reproduce sexually? And the reason I ask that is because, first of all, I have no desire to reproduce, but in the future I might. The problem is that I don't have any romantic interest toward other people. And unfortunately, which is fine with me, the unfortunate part is that the barriers to life here in the United States and in a lot of Western countries, when you try to live as a solo sexual. So I traveled in Taiwan. In Taiwan, it's not nearly as unpopular to live alone. In fact, a lot of apartments are designed, geared like that. And so the cost of living alone there is not very prohibitive. Here in the United States, forget about it, right? We talk about how expensive housing is, but it's even more expensive as a solo sexual, because so many housing units are built with the idea that somebody's going to raise a family in there, right? Or at least a couple's going to live in there. When I was a kid, I used to love to watch game shows, and sometimes on the show, they would say, you win a trip for two. And at the time, I was the only child. I asked my dad, why is it always a trip for two? What if you went on there? Don't you think the three of us should go together? And my dad explained that most of these game shows attract a lot of younger people who are married but haven't had kids yet, or at least in a serious relationship and haven't had kids yet. And I said, well, what if, I think I was 8, 9 years old at the time. I said, well, what if you haven't even gotten married yet, right? What if I went on this show, right? Or maybe I went right after I graduated from high school, right? And so even as a kid, I understood that not everybody... I probably subconsciously knew I was solosexual at the time, right? But at the time, there was a lot of barriers. You gotta remember, this is the mid-1990s we're talking about. There were enough barriers for being in a same-sex relationship, right? Alright, so I asked God why he designs us to have to eat in such a messy way, right? See, I would probably be a lot less bothered if instead of eating, humans just needed to recharge, right? Plug a wire into the wall. At least it'd be a whole lot less messier, right? Maybe if we only needed to recharge ourselves once a week or once every 2 weeks, you know, I'd probably be okay with that, right? But eating is messy, takes up time and space, and makes a mess, makes your body smell, right? If we could have installed some kind of, or better yet, if we could use radiation to power ourselves, right? We could put a mineral in our body that's radioactive, right? And only replace it every 138 days. I might be okay with that. But the fact that we have to eat and make ourselves smell bad, and why do we need a partner in life, right? In order to keep our species alive, right? Why, God, why, right? This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.